Today I am going to take up a new chapter from your Honeysuckle book, Unit 7, Fair Play. In this story is about two good friends, Jumman Sheikh and Albu Chaudhary, and they have to decide what is important, friendship and amity, or what is wrong and right. So Jumman Sheikh and Albu Chaudhary are two main characters of this story, and old aunt, she is aunt of Jumman Sheikh, that is also a main character of this story, and Samju Sahu. So there are four main characters of this story, and this story is written by Munshi Premchand, who is very great writer of Hindi. So students, now I am going to read this chapter and I am going to explain it. Fair play. Jumman Sheikh and Albu Chaudhary were good friends. So strong was their bond of friendship that when either of them went away from the village, the other looked after his family. Both were greatly respected in the village. So Jumman Sheikh and Albu Chaudhary were very good friends. Their bond of friendship is famous in all the village, and they are greatly respected in the village. Jumman had an old aunt who had some property. Jumman Sheikh had an old aunt. She had some property and she transferred her property to Jumman. She transferred to him on the understanding that she would stay with him and Jumman would look after her. The arrangement worked very well for the couple of years. 2 years तक वो arrangement बहुत अच्छा चला. But what happened afterwards? Then the situation changed. Jumman and his family were tired of the old relative. Jumman became as indifferent to her as his wife, who grudged even the little food that the old lady wanted every day. The couple of years, everything goes well, but afterwards Jumman and his wife became indifferent. What is the meaning of became indifferent? So became indifferent means होता है So what is the meaning of became indifferent? Lost interest or unwillingly lost interest in or did not care for. Did not care for. So Jumman Sheikh and his wife became indifferent to her, to their aunt. They don't want to give her enough food, and they are unhappily doing her work. Who grudged even the little food that the old lady wanted every day. Grudged. So what is the meaning of grudged? So grudged means felt angry. So they felt angry to do her work. She swallowed these insults. Who swallowed these insults? The old lady swallowed these insults along with her food for a few months. But patience has its limits. But patience की भी एक limit होती है. One day she spoke to Jumman, "My son, it is now obvious that I am not wanted in your house. Kindly give me a monthly allowance so that I can set up a separate kitchen." So what old aunt said to Jumman, she said ki, "I know that you don't want me in your house now. So you just give me monthly allowance so that I can separate my kitchen. I can satisfy whatever the facility I want. I will do it myself. So my wife knows best how to run the house. Be patient," said Jumman shamelessly. So Jumman, he answered shamelessly. He answered that my wife knows best how to run the house. This made his aunt very angry, and she decided to take her case to the village panchayat. In urban areas there are courts to solve the disputes of the people, and in rural areas गाँव में village panchayat होती है, and village panchayat solve the small disputes of the villagers. For many days, the old lady was seen talking to the villagers, explaining her case and seeking their support. Some sympathized with her, others laughed at her, and a few others advised her to make up with this situation. So that old lady, seeking support to the villagers, she explained her case to all the villagers ki what Jumman Sheikh and his wife doing with her. But some sympathized with her, कुछ ने उनके प्रति दया दिखाई, and but what others says कि make it up with Jumman Sheikh and his wife. It means उसके साथ समझौता कर लो. Okay. At last, she came to Algu Chaudhary and spoke to him. You know, Chachi, Jumman is my best friend. How can I go against him? So Algu Chaudhary, who was Jumman's best friend, at last aunt goes to him, and whatever the Jumman Sheikh and his wife did with her, she explained. So Algu Chaudhary said कि Jumman Sheikh is my best friend. How can I go against him? मैं उसके विरोध में कैसे जा सकता हूँ? You know, Chachi, Jumman is my best friend. How can I go against him? Algu said. But is it right, my son, to keep mum and not say what you consider just and fair? Pleaded the old lady. Come to the panchayat and speak the truth, she said. Algu didn't reply, but her words kept ringing in his ears. तो अलगू ने क्या कहा कि जुम्मन इज माई बेस्ट फ्रेंड एंड आई कांट गो अगेंस्ट हिम. देन ओल्ड आंट सेड कि इज इट राइट कि सच चाहते हो कि तुम चुप रहोगे? कम टू द पंचायत एंड सेड द ट्रुथ. But Algu didn't reply, and but her aunt words kept ringing in his ears. Now part 2. The panchayat was held the same evening under an old banyan tree. Jumman stood up and said, "The voice of the Panch is the voice of God." Panchayat was held, okay, the same evening under an old banyan tree. Jumman stood up and said कि the voice of the Panch is the voice of God. जो पंच की आवाज है वो भगवान की आवाज है. Let my aunt nominate the head punch. I will abide by her decision. कि my aunt will select the head punch and I will abide by her decision. I will accept her decision. So what is the meaning of abide? Abide means accept. Abide by means accept. The Panch knows neither friend nor enemy. What do you say to Algu Chaudhary? The old lady announced, and that old lady selected Algu Chaudhary, the best friend of Jumman, as the head punch. Fine, replied Jumman, hiding his joy over this unexpected piece of luck. So Jumman was very happy. Why he was happy? Because his aunt selected his best friend Algu Chaudhary. Chachi, you are aware of my friendship with Jumman, said Algu. What Algu said ki, aunt, you know that Jumman is my best friend. I know that, replied the aunt, but I also know that you will not kill your conscience for the sake of friendship. God lives in the heart of Panch, and his voice is the voice of God. And the old lady explained her case. What aunt said, I know that both of you are very good friends, but voice of the God is the voice of Panch. जो भगवान की आवाज होती है वही पंच की आवाज होती है. So I know that you will, whatever the justice you will do, that is fine for me and that will be the good. Jumman, said Algu, you and I are old friends. Your aunt is as dear to me as you. Now I am a Panch. You and your aunt are equal before me. What have you to say in your defense? So what Algu said? Algu said, Jumman, you and I are old friends, but your aunt is as dear to me as you. कि जैसे तुम्हारी aunt तुम्हें dear है वैसे ही मुझे भी dear है, and both of you are equal. Now I am a Panch. So if you want to say in your defense, so you can say 3 years ago began Jumman. Jumman ने क्या कहना start किया कि 3 years ago my aunt transferred her property to me. I have done all I could. There have been a couple of quarrels between my aunt and my wife that I can't stop it. Now my aunt is claiming a monthly allowance from me. This is not possible. That's all I have to say. कि छोटे मोटे झगड़े होते हैं मेरी aunt और मेरी wife के बीच में. That I can't stop it. Now my aunt want a monthly allowance from me. That is not possible for me to give her monthly allowance because my wife knows best how to run the house. This is just I want to say. Juman was cross-examined by Algu and others. Then Algu announced, "We have gone into the matter carefully." जुम्मन ने और उस जो अदर हेड जो पंच थे, they have cross-examined Algu and other punch cross-examined Jumman, and then Algu announced, "We have gone into the matter carefully. Jumman must pay his aunt a monthly allowance." जुम्मन को अपनी आंट को मंथली अलाउंस पे करना पड़ेगा, अदरवाइज द प्रॉपर्टी गोज बैक टू हर, अदरवाइज प्रॉपर्टी आंट को वापस करनी पड़ेगी. नाउ द टू फ्रेंड्स वर सेल्डम सीन टुगेदर. आफ्टर दिस डिसीजन अलगू एंड जुम्मन बिकेम एनिमी. दोनों एनिमी बन गए. नाउ दे सेल्डम सीन टुगेदर. सेल्डम मीन्स रेयरली. Seldom is rarely. बहुत कम वो दोनों एक दूसरे के साथ दिखने लगे. Now they became enemy of each other. The bond of friendship between them was broken. In fact, Jumman was Algu's enemy and wanted his revenge. अब जो है जुम्मन अलगू का दुश्मन बन चुका था and he wanted revenge. उसको बदला लेना था अलगू से. Now start our part 3. Days passed, and as in luck would have it, Algu Chaudhary found himself in a tight spot. One of his fine pair of bullocks died, and he sold the other to Samju Sahu, a cart driver of the village. The understanding was the Sahu would pay the price of the bullock in a month's time. It so happened that the bullock died within a month. So days passed, and ill luck would have it. Means अलगू के थोड़े से बुरे दिन आ गए. अलगू चौधरी found himself in a tight spot. So what is the meaning of tight spot? Tight spot means difficult situation. One of his fine pair of bullock died, and he sold the other to Samju Sahu. Samju Sahu is another character of this story, a cart driver of the village. The understanding was that Sahu would pay the price of the bullock in the month's time. It so happened that the bullock died within a month. और जब उसने दोनों के बीच में एक बॉन्ड हुआ कि within a month Sahu will pay the bullock's price, but in within month that bullock died. Several months after the bullock's death, Algu reminded Sahu of the money he hadn't yet paid. Sahu got very annoyed. "I can't pay you a penny for the rash beast you sold me. He brought us nothing but ruin. I have a bullock. Use it for a month and then return it to me. No money for the dead bullock," he said angrily. Now, several months after the bullock's death, Algu reminded Sahu of the money he hadn't yet paid. Sahu got very annoyed, and what he said that I will not pay for the ill bullock. जो आपका bullock था वो ill था, वो मर गया. Now I will not pay any money for that rash beast. He brought us nothing but ruin. I have a bullock. Use it for some months, and after that you will return it to me. No money for the dead bullock. Algu decided to refer the case to the panchayat. For a second time in a few months, preparation for holding the panchayat were made, and both the parties started meeting people seeking their support. The panchayat was held under the old banyan tree. Algu stood up and said, "The voice of the punch is the voice of God. Let Sahu nominate the head punch. I will abide by his decision." Sahu saw his chance and proposed the name of Jumman. Now Sahu selected the head punch, Jumman. Algu's heart sank and he turned pale. But what could he do? Why Algu's heart sank? Because now the head punch is Jumman, and now Jumman is no more his best friend. Jumman is his enemy. The moment Jumman became head punch, he realized his responsibility as judge and the dignity of his office. Could he, seated in that high place, have his revenge now? तो जैसे ही जुम्मन हेड पंच बना, उसको अपने रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी का रियलाइज हुआ। क्या वो इतनी हाई पोस्ट पे बैठ के अलगू से बदला लेना चाहता था? He thought and thought, no, he must not allow his personal feelings to come in the way of speaking the truth and doing justice. Both Algu and Sahu stated their cases. Stated their cases and they were cross-examined, and the case was considered deeply by the punch. Then Jumman stood up and announced, "It is our opinion that Sahu should pay Algu the price of the bullock." So what Jumman said? He said that now it is our opinion that Sahu should pay the price of bullock to the Algu. When Sahu bought the bullock, it suffered from no disability or disease. The death of the bullock was unfortunate, but Algu cannot be blamed for it. Algu could not contain his feelings. Algu now, he was very happy. He stood up and said loudly over and over again, "Victory to the panchayat. This is justice. God lives in the voice of the punch." Soon after, Jumman came to Algu, embraced him and said, "Since the last panchayat, I had become your enemy. Today I realize what it meant to be a punch. A punch has no friend, no enemy. He knows only justice. Let no one deviate from the path of justice and truth for friendship or enmity." Jumman came to Algu, he embraced him, and what he said that कि लास्ट पंचायत से हम दोनों जो है एक दूसरे के दुश्मन बन गए थे, लेकिन जो पंच होता है वो वॉइस होती है गॉड की. नाउ वी विल बिकम फ्रेंड्स अगेन. Algu embraced his friend and wept after his tears washed away all the dirt of misunderstanding between them. तो जो भी उनके बीच में मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग थी वो वॉश हो गए, and both now they became friends again. So students, go through this chapter and write the word meanings in your rough notebook, and we will solve the queries in our next session. Bye and have a nice day.